Hey guys, and welcome to the JT Fitness Guide to the split jerk. We're going to be performing this today out of a rack. However, you can obviously do the exact same techniques once you finish your clean. But for today's video, we're going to teach it out of the rack, just so you have a little bit more time just focusing on the jerk rather than having to focus about the clean and the jerk, making learning it a little bit easier. So, first thing we need to know is where we're going to place our hands. Now, ideally, because the Olympic lift is a clean plus jerk, we want to place the hands in the same position that we would do a clean from. So for me, that would be a thumb to grip from the knurling. For you, that might be slightly different. Just try and remember where your clean grip is, okay? Next thing we're going to do is a little bit of a series. We're going to start with the military press, okay? So what we're going to do, guys, you're going to take the bar to your shoulders, take the bar out of the rack, and then from here, we're going to press the bar overhead in a nice straight line. Now, if I was to press the bar in a straight line from here, I'm going to hit myself in the chin. So I've got two options to avoid that. Option number one is to look upwards. So I'm going to look up, and as I'm pressing the bar, once I see the bar again, I'm going to push my head forward. And what this is going to be able to do is allow me to use the whole of my deltoid. It will also allow me to bone stack, so at the top here it's a much more comfortable position, and obviously put me in the best position to press the bar in a straight line. The second option, which does all the above, is to give yourself a double chin. So we're going to pull our chin in, press, and then when we can't see the bar anymore, we're going to push our head back through. What I'd like you to do, guys, is definitely try both and pick your favorite from there. Once you have your favorite, it doesn't particularly matter too much which one you choose. Both are equally as good as one another, and just stick to that one, okay? So the next thing we're going to talk about is the push press. So now this is the ability to use the legs as well as the shoulders to get the bar over the head. Now, things we want to do here, guys, is we get our feet into a squat stance because that is our most powerful position to produce vertical force. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend at the knees, pushing them forwards and out while remaining flat-footed. Okay, we want to be pushing through the mid-put, again, for optimal power output. The other thing we want to take a notice of is the angle, the line basically between our hip and our shoulder. Wherever this line is will determine pretty much the trajectory of the bar. So if I'm slightly forward, the bar is going to go slightly forward. So we want to keep our chest up, abs braced, push the knees forwards and out, and then we're going to stand very rapidly, and it's the momentum of that stand which is going to help us lift the bar. Our arms then come at the top just to lock out. We'll look a little something like so. So again, clean grip position, still in the front rack. We're going to walk ourselves out, and then going to dip with the legs, pushing them forward and out, stand quick and up. So this is why the head movement is really important, because that bar is now moving at quite a speed. So that's the push press, and that's also going to teach us the dip and drive for the split jerk, which we'll come back to in a second. The next thing I want to talk about is our footwork and a fun little game we can do with that. Okay, guys, you now join me down on the ground. We're going to talk about the footwork for the split. What this is basically doing, there's going to be a point with the push press where you simply cannot use your arms anymore to lock out the weight. Okay, that'll be around your 1 rep max push press. So instead of continuing to push up, we're essentially going to lower our height down so that we can lock out the arm. The bar doesn't need to elevate any higher. This will come in form of a split. It can also come in the form of a squat, which we'll cover in another video. So for the split, if you're right-sided, I would say you're going to go right foot forward, left foot backwards. If you're left-handed, then I would say you're going to go left foot forward, right foot backwards. But again, try both. You may have a different preference. Try both and see which one takes your fancy. Now, what we're going to do from here, guys, you're actually going to drop into the bottom of a lunge position. The distance apart we want our feet is so that we have a 90-degree in the back knee and a 90-degree in the front knee, the shin nice and vertical. That's the textbook answer. Now, of course, when you do the split jerk, we want to be balanced. So we're going to plant our toes into the ground and we're going to stand ourselves up. We want to feel like we're in a very balanced and secure position because, again, this is going to be a position where hopefully we're going to hold a lot of kilos above our head. So we want to make sure we're nice and balanced. So it should be even pressure through both feet. You want about 60% in the front leg, about 40% in the back leg. You will notice in the back leg I am on my toes and the heel is ever so slightly turned in forward, okay? Again, that will just help a little bit with stability. If you don't feel particularly balanced, you can obviously go wider with your foot stance. You can go longer, but again, the longer you go, the open your balance can start to go. So what I'd recommend is just going back to that 90-90. And like I said, finding a spot that feels comfortable. Right. So for our little test, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to get you to stand on a line. So we want the arches of our feet on a line, preferably in the floor if possible. You're then going to dip, like we just did with the push press, stand, jump into our split. And what we want to be able to do is land exactly where we want to be every single time. You'll notice how I landed. There wasn't any shaking around, repositioning. Your goal here is to be consistent. So you may have to do this a couple of times. That's absolutely fine. The second thing I want you to note when you do your split is if you look down, your hips should be in line with that line that we started on. We want the body to go straight up, straight down, not stepping forward. What a lot of beginners will do is they'll dip, drive, and they'll take a huge step forward. That again is going to push the bar forward, all the momentum forward, you may lose the lift. So we want the body to go down, straight up, and back down again. Again, we're back on that line where we started. Okay, again, practice this a couple times. It may take a few goes to have a go. And again, like I mentioned, do both legs. Now, once we're in this position, we're going to talk a little bit about the footwork. It's a 3-step method. So again, once we've got a lot of kilos above our head, we don't want to take a huge step forward because again, that starts shifting everything forward. We don't want to be doing that. We essentially want to wedge ourselves up. So it's a 3-step. Okay, step 1 is going to be straight in the front leg. Step 2 is going to be take a big step forward with the back leg and a small step backwards with the front leg. Hopefully, hey, we've got it. You're going to end up exactly where you started. That tells me that you went up and down in the same spot and you wedged yourself back up on the same spot, leading to a perfect jerk. Alright guys, and back to the barbell. We're now going to put together everything we've covered there. So the dip and the drive and the head movement from the first half of the video, and then the footwork that we've just covered in that second half of the video. We're going to blend the two together. So essentially it's going to be a push press. But as we are landing from that triple extension or that jump position, we want to be landing now in that split position that we talked about. And again, that will enable us to lock out the arms. So again, as from the top, we're going to take the clean grip, take it on the shoulders, take it out of the rack, dip and drive like we said with the push press, jump into split. Again, that bar locks out overhead, and then it is front leg, back leg, front leg, and then here you'll be given the down signal. We want to make sure that the feet are in line. They will not give you a down signal till the feet are in line. Once you're down here, obviously you can let go of the bar, or if you're doing multiple reps, you'll bring it back down for a re-rack, and obviously repeat the rep. Again, with any sort of ollie lift, I would recommend starting off with a very lightweight and then obviously progressing into a heavier and heavier weight once you get more consistent with the technique. So thanks for watching my video on the split jerk. If you have any questions, drop them down below. And make sure you like the video, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.